Let's move on to right time.
See, that is a perfect. Somebody must have got in there and said, "Okay, wait a minute. This is what he can do. This is his strong point."
Right. Yeah, this is the one that was probably better mixed. I think it starts off with good rhythm. It's simple rhythm, but I think it suits the song. Like you don't always have to be super heavy riff wise.
That's right.
Yet I don't want that to be absent all the time either. We don't. I like variety on the Rock and Metal Faith
Yeah.
podcast. Today we're going to dive into the 80's classic band Neon Cross and their debut record.
With electric guitars, the heavens shake through every riff, our souls awake. This is rock and metal faith. The thunder roars, his name is praised. Through light and dark, his love will fade. Forever loud, rock and metal faith.
Welcome to the Rock and Metal Faith podcast, where it's all about the rock that makes me sing, Christian rock and metal. From today's music to the classics, it's all right here. I'm your host, Aaron Hancock, joined by my co-host, Chris Plimonen. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing good. And like I said, today we get to dive into a classic band, Neon Cross. That's a band actually I haven't listened to for a few years until we decided this time to jump into these guys.
Yeah, I've never heard of them, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get into that. Before we do, like always, we got a little bit of news to cover. Uh, just this morning, just today, Striper has released a brand new song. Have you heard that one, Chris?
no. I remember that I saw the Facebook that Michael and Oz put out.
Right. Yeah, I heard it once. I have shared it on our Facebook group page. Uh, maybe it's a good time to mention too, or be sure to like, share, and
Is
post.
it out in the public?
Yes, it's out. It's out on. It's been on Facebook. It's been on YouTube. Actually, I think all the Facebook postings are sharing the YouTube link. It's on the Striper sites. It's on the Christian rock metal sites. All this thing. I've heard it. It's not much of a video.
What's it called?
I gotta look it up again, but you know what? Let me do because I was just looking at it this
I'm trying
morning.
to think if I saw it.
Oh, it's called "I'm All Right."
I'm all right. I'm okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah. That's what. That's what. Not bad. I like it. I like the sound. I like the guitar sound. I only heard once, so I haven't really dived into the lyrics. Assuming it's probably one of these upbeat pep songs. Everybody stressed out and probably saying, despite all that's going on, all the turmoil in the world, we're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. We're all gonna be all right, type of thing. For those who are maybe dealing with issues, mental issues, just reminding them that yes, they are okay. That's what
Yeah.
I got out of it so far. I haven't dived in the lyrics to know exactly what the message is about. First, I'm looking at the title, going, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this." Lyric wise, and it's not bad, and maybe it's the kind of song that today's society needs to hear. Musically, I think it's gonna be good. Michael has come out saying he's been trying to create a blend between the old and the new. It's definitely, I think, has some of that classic Striper elements that everybody looks for, and at the same time has a modern sound to it, type of thing.
Wow. You just repeated probably word for word what he put in his uh
In his
what
post
was
there, yes,
the
yeah,
post yesterday. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He talked about that, like, and you said it word for word. I knew that sounded familiar.
Musically, that's kinda how I have to describe it. I think I'm gonna like it. And the funny thing is, he's also said this is gonna the one coming out is gonna be the 18th studio record, and he plans on doing, like, 20 or 21 Striper albums. So I'm going, "Wow, that's a lot." Maybe I'll say after I buy this one that I've got lots, I've got enough, I don't need any more until until the next one comes out.
So wait a minute, you just said a second ago, they've done 8,
8
right? 8,
18.
8 oh, 18, okay. Yeah, and
Yes.
he wants to go to till 20, he wants to do 30 of them, right?
No, no, 20 or 21 or something like that.
Oh, okay, okay,
So I'm
till
I'm
20.
going, if I get 18 and he only puts out 2 or 3 more, yeah, maybe will I pick them out? Yeah, we'll
You
see.
need a bigger room if that happens. Yeah.
Actually, well, if you look behind me, I've got a brand new CD case. Um,
Mhm.
I found that on Marketplace. I was thinking, I had things stashed in this little rack that was going up and down, kind of like you see the side. And I'm going, well, that's nice. The rack I had wasn't really built for CDs; it was built more for DVDs, but I was using it for CDs. And I thought, I kind of like this whole idea of a bookshelf that I stick my CDs. Then I found this on Marketplace, so so I got that.
Oh, wow.
Stuff. What else we got in news? I guess that's about it. Oh, one other thing, and this came out a few weeks back, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, is there is another Striper tribute record that has been released. It's a tribute to the 40th anniversary of To Hell with the Devil, done by various artists, all pretty heavy. I'm not sure if you've heard anything off of that one, Chris.
No.
I've heard a few. That album actually is available on the streaming services. It's on Apple and Spotify, and that's where I started listening to it. I may pick up. I've heard tracks off it. Some of them aren't bad. We're actually going to play on a plug it in segment. Not a track off that record, but one of the bands that is on that album that's going to come up on our plug it in segment. If you remember the band Reign of Glory, who I really love, I love the first record, I love the second record. They do To Hell with the Devil, the song,
Oh,
and it's good. Like, we were talking a couple weeks back, who would replace Michael if he ever could not sing? Well, get Buddy
he's
from
the guy.
Reign and Glory because I like his version of To Hell with the Devil, and so that's about it. Um, yeah. So moving right along, let's get into the plug it in segment. Time to plug it in and turn it up.
Not too loud, though.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. That's our old plugged in theme, but let's run it with that one. Anyways,
Let's wait.
so yeah, like I was saying, we're plugging in. We are going to feature a song from a band who is on the 40th anniversary tribute to Hell with the Devil. The band is called Becoming Sons. Now, we're not playing their track from the tribute record. We're playing one of their older tracks. This is a track called Hidden Truth. And just warn you, Chris, this is kind of like a Demon Hunter where they've got the two vocalists. One does the screamo metal screams, and another guy will sing more melodically.
Other ballads?
I don't know. This is a heavier one called Hidden Truth. What do you think of that one?
Wow, wow. I like the guitar riffs. That sounded pretty cool, and the drums.
Right?
But the voice reminded me of wow. Yeah, that was unexpected. I thought he would actually there was a little singing. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I saw you start to cringe when those metalcore vocals kicked in.
That was a little itching my boundaries there. You know?
Yeah, my thoughts on that, I'm not big on that style, but then I started
Yeah,
thinking back, and way back in the day when Vengeance Rising first came out, his vocals aren't much different than some of these metalcore vocals.
that is just
Um, if you remember Vengeance there with, Roger Martinez on vocals, and his vocals weren't the best vocals, he had the metal growl going too and all that. And I love Vengeance, so I guess I can't say I knock all or I hate all metal vocals.
no, no, not I'm past that phase. No, that's
And I think I said this before, I'm slowly getting into Demon Hunter. Um, the difference with Demon Hunter is there are some softer songs where they have just the melodic vocals, and then the faster songs, the heavier songs, they bring in the metalcore, and I tend to lean more to the lighter Demon Hunter stuff, again, just because I'm not into the metalcore vocals, but this one, wasn't bad. Hidden Truth, it's okay. Yeah, I could do without the metalcore vocals, but overall, I think it was not bad, and I like it, and if you like that, like I said, they do "Calling on You" from Stryper. So the band we just heard is on that tribute record, and they do "Calling on You."
they did a version of Calling on You.
Yes.
Wow. And that I would imagine to be wow.
The other ones on there now, a lot of these bands on here I don't know that well. Like I said, Reign of Glory does "The Hell the Devil." German Pascal does "Honestly." Actually, and it's not bad. It's different than the Stryper version, but still kinda keeps that whole essence behind it. And German, if you remember, he was the replacement vocalist that came in to the band Narnia. Came in for one record and then left again as they bring their main vocalist back. Weapons of God is on here doing "Rockin' the World." We know Weapons of God, they've been at Immortal Fest, and they're kinda out there. The rest of them I don't know that well. I'd have to listen to them again. We got "Later Rain" on here, "Testimony of Apocalypse," "All for the King," "Undoubting Thomas," Seth McToyer, Motivate.
Oh wow. Those are all groups that are Christian hardcore metal.
Yeah. Well, these are you know what? It's a better tribute than the one that came out in the mid-90s. If you remember that one, I don't think you do. I mentioned that that was like a grunge version of Stryper songs, not very well done. Anyways,
I
we're not.
know Petra did a version of Calling on You years
Oh,
ago.
really? The
Yeah,
same
it
s
sounded pretty cool, especially with John Schultz. I mean,
I'd have to
he can
yeah, oh, definitely, he'd be a good vocalist. I'd have to look that up. I don't know if I ever heard of that one, but okay. Alright, so on to Neon Cross. Let's do a little bit of background here. Neon Cross formed around 83, 84 in Hollywood, California, blending the traditional heavy metal and melodic hard rock and arena style hooks and riffs with their Christian lyrics. Another Christian metal band playing in on the Sunset Strip. So you had the likes of Stryper and Holy Soldier was playing clubs on the strip as well. Neon Crosses. And, not bad. Like after hearing the songs and listening to this album, I could easily imagine, walking into a club and hearing a band like Neon Cross playing and going, and being quite impressed. About 87, they got noticed enough to appear on the legendary compilation called California Metal. Now, if you remember that. That was a compilation that featured a bunch of Christian rock bands from the time and, featured Barren Cross, Deliverance, Guardian, to name a few, as well as Neon Cross.
I wonder if they were in the same like the same. Wasn't there an a pastor who was bringing in all these
Oh,
Christian artists?
yes, you're thinking of Pastor Bob with, Sanctuary. No, he had a different oops, oh, my table there. He had a different thing going and, kind of different group and starting you're right, though, he did start up a bunch of bands. I think Holy Soldier was part of his church. I remember we were talking about the history of Holy Soldier, talking about the history of thrash bands that came out. Vengeance Rising came out of his church. Deliverance may have been as well, although I'm not 100% sure on that. And I know when we were talking about the history of Vengeance, and I read Roger Dale Martin, who was the bass player for Vengeance, and he's talking about Holy Soldier was playing around the time that they were starting. But yeah, I think that was 2 separate groups going, these guys were more like a regular club band, except for the fact that they're singing about Jesus and God, much the same that Stryper was doing.
I couldn't believe while I was trying to find these songs, how many people or artists took their name and made it their own.
Yeah, we'll get
Like,
in that. You're right, this is a hard album to find. That's why I sent you the YouTube playlist. I sent it to you twice because you didn't realize I sent it to you the first time.
mm,
So, yeah, so they appeared on California Metal. They recorded a couple songs that are not on this first debut record called "Need Your Love" and "Son of God." Apparently, those 2 songs will have appeared now on the re-release of this album. I don't have the re-release. I haven't heard those songs. We don't have time to, I didn't have time to check them out, so I haven't heard those 2 songs. We are gonna talk about the debut record as it originally came out. But when they were out on that, California Metal album, Regency Records noticed the band and decided to sign them. They're also the same label that signed another Christian band called Rage of Angels, I think around the same time. And they got signed. This album comes out 87, 88. Um, and here's a little interesting fact too. Apparently, they got the idea for the name of their band after spotting a glowing neon cross on Santa Monica going towards the Sunset Strip. Yeah,
okay.
I guess saw this neon cross lit up and thought, hey, that'd be cool for a band name.
Catchy. It's, yeah.
We got Neon Cross, we got White Cross, we got Baron. We should do an episode about the 3 crosses.
And you were by, what was the name of the street? Like, yeah,
Yeah, on Sunset there, like I said,
yeah.
one band's playing one of the many bands playing the strip. Okay, so the original lineup featured David Raymond Reeves on vocals, Don Webster on guitar, Ed Ott on bass, Mike Betts on drums. Because of the scene that they're in, these guys are often compared to a slightly rougher version of Dawkins, Stryper, and Priest all mixed together. Their, debut record was produced by Ron Capone. It was engineered and mixed by Mike Miro. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce his last name, and also mixed by Dino Elefante.
Yeah, I noticed if you know what to look for, that was one of the only things I liked about the band, the engineering.
Right.
You could tell the strength in it, the mixing.
I kinda thought the overall production, though, coulda done a little more
Yes.
tweaking. Um, and I don't know, there were some of the mix that I thought, they could have brought the vocals out a little more than what they did.
Mhm.
But over time, and this album wasn't a huge success. I don't think it sold lots out of the gate. It's kind of become a cult classic now. And a lot of bands, people who look back on this say, well, this wasn't a band that was chasing trends or whatever. This was a genuine metal band. You just have to happen to be singing about the Christian message. They only really released the one record, broke up for a few years in the mid-90s, recorded their second album called Torn, and that because of the time frame that one comes out, it was a darker, grungier sound. That could be another one we could look for and cover the grunge bands, I guess, or grunge albums. I don't know. I'm not into that. So as far as I know, they've only put out the 2 records, the debut, that second one in the mid-90s, and I don't know if they were broken up after that. I They are kind of back together. I know they're doing the festival circuit. I think they did Immortal Fest last year, doing Immortal Fest and a few festivals again this year. I don't know who's in the current lineup. So if anybody out there knows and, wants to get back to us on who is currently in Neon Cross, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, totally. Let us know. That'd be cool.
And, as always, and I was gonna mention this when you started talking about the Facebook post page, and then I got sidetracked. But as always, you know what? We love to hear from you. So leave comments, reviews. Check us out on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page as well as a Facebook group page. Anything news happenings, new episodes will get released on the Facebook page. And any interesting videos I will post on the group page. And yeah, let everybody know you're listening. And let's.
Yeah, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell everybody.
So your overall thoughts on the, Neon Cross and their debut album?
They're not bad. They're not bad. I mean, back in the day, if the old days, right, when we got to go to a store to buy one, I probably would listen to it. Although we're gonna get into it here, some of the opening tracks, I was impressed. Like that alone, I might have bought it
Right.
just because the opening was like, wow. But then it kind of,
Starts
yeah.
off strong and then kind of peters out. That's kind of my thought on a few of the tracks too. Yeah, I'll show up here. I have the original cassette. This was bought back in the day, back in the 80s. I was going to the bookstore.
What
I
year
was,
was that, Aaron?
87,
Look at
80
the.
oh, wait, it says here, yeah, 1988.
Okay.
And there isn't too much on the inside as far as liner notes. It's got not that I can read them anymore. Uh, even with my glasses, I can't read them, but it's got the lyric sheet on the inside, and that's all it says. On the inside, it says, "Produced by Neon Cross and Pachyderm and Ron Capone, engineered Dino Elefante, mixed by Dino and Mike," and that's all it says, really. Um, but yeah, so I have this on cassette.
I did not like with those cassettes when you took it out like you just did.
Yeah.
I didn't like that you couldn't read the lyrics properly without getting a flashlight or a magnifying. Like, who thought of this? It's like
You know what? Back in the day when I was in my teens, I could read them. Not bad at
that's
all. Like,
true. That's true.
I
That's
can't
true.
even read these with my reading glasses on.
Oh. Okay, I remember that those are the days.
Yeah. Well, if you listen to our good friends from, and they're featured on the last episode, listen to our good friends from To Hell with the Podcast. He talked, but this is why he buys records. He buys vinyl because on the inside lyric sheet, they're big enough he can actually read.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to our friends. Hey guys, how you doing?
Thanks for listening. And yeah, that was a good time, a good conversation, and with those guys. But anyways, so yeah, like I got this on original cassette, which means I bought this probably from the bookstore, probably one of those trips to the bookstore. What's new, what's out there, going through the listening stations and hearing the first track, going, "Wow, I'm impressed. I like this." And I remember when it first came out, I loved it. I'm sure I played that album quite a bit. Mind you, back in those days, there wasn't quite so much to listen to either. We had a very limited amount of who we were listening to. It was Striper, White Cross, Rez, Holy Soldier, and whoever else you could find. you know?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't remember you playing them in your car back in the day. That does not ring a bell.
No. I'm sure I played them quite a bit, but again, we had the top 5. Like I said, Striper and Petra and White Cross, Rez, Holy Soldier.
And probably Tourniquet in there. Yeah.
I never did get into Tourniquet back in the
No?
day.
Oh,
No.
okay.
The only one I think, you know what? I was listening to, because on that Hot Metal 4 videotape I have, they had Arc of Suffering. I think I watched Arc of Suffering and go, "Yeah, I'm not into this."
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
The other thing, actually, what I like about this album is it's got no ballads on it.
Yes, I know.
It's
I
got a cou
know.
it's got a couple songs that start slow, and I'm thinking, "Oh, this must be the obligatory ballad," and then it picks up and takes off.
I'm tempted to send an email to Neon Cross's management and find out why they never put a ballot on this. Yeah,
Well,
but
you know what?
you know,
Maybe that's part of them not chasing trends. Remember, that was the trend, was
that's right.
the hair metal bands had to have a ballad. These guys aren't really hair metal. Like I said, they're a little heavier than the hair metal. Some people compare them to Judas Priest, and while they're not stylistically the same as Judas Priest, I could see they're in that vein. They're more traditional heavy metal than glam metal.
You can't have a album anymore where the artists just go for 30, 40 minutes like that. Just doesn't happen anymore. You know,
Um, you might want to listen
I
to the
don't.
new. You might want to listen to the last Judas Priest record. You might want to listen to the last Iron Maiden record, the Megadeth record, and Metallica. Metallica don't write ballads too much anymore.
That they're different. They like that heavy stuff. And if you watch their YouTube videos, you get to see how they stay hyped up for the whole 90
Right.
minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I sent you the picture of the cover. What are your thoughts on the cover of this record?
Yeah, the cover. The cover was really good. I like the picture. I
Okay.
do.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of like the picture. It's nice. It's colorful. It's got that. Well, the logo is in the neon outline. It's got a sword in the earth. I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent too much. You know what? And I was looking at it going, so this came out in the mid 80s. This would have been hand drawn, hand painted, or whatever. Computers were very limited in what they could do back then. There was no AI. This looks like an AI. If this was done today, I would have thought this was done by AI.
Yeah, that's right. Back then, if I saw that in the Bible bookstore, I would have thought it may be like a Dance Force 5
Right.
band. Do you remember them?
I heard of them. I don't know too much
Yeah,
about them.
their Christian kids dance stuff. So that when you sent me that, that's where I thought, oh, Aaron's made a miscue. We're gonna talk about dance now.
No, we're
And
not.
then when I heard their first single here, we're gonna talk about. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Like yeah, they're I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an impressive cover, but not bad. I suppose it works
They're
for the
not
band.
yeah, they're not bad. They're not a band I'll follow or buy a shirt.
Right. All right. Well, let's get into it. The first. Oh, I want to say something about the audio quality because some people may be picking up on this. Right before a song kind of kicks in, you'll hear this little sounds like a whirring, or I'm not sure, humming, or not really sure how to describe the sound. That is coming from my cassette. A few years back, I took all my cassettes and digitized them, and I did that by playing them in a special Walkman type cassette player that would plug into the computer. Had a output, so you could plug a USB cable into it, plug it into your computer, and then record it using Audacity or any other DAW type system. As I was doing that, especially with this one, for some reason, it was coming up with this bad. Maybe it's because it's coming off the tape. Maybe the tape wasn't that great quality, but I was hearing that. Try to cut it off and get right in the song. It does come through a little bit. So those are wondering where the bad audio is coming from. That's where it's coming from. Or first song, Heartbreaker. So your thoughts on that, Heartbreaker?
Oh, I like that song a lot. That really piqued my ears up when I heard it the first time. Like, oh, hey,
Yeah, definitely grabs your attention, I think, gets you into it and go, "Do you wanna hear more?" Keep listening, you know?
yeah,
Um, Back in the day, I think every album had to have a good, strong opener. There was usually a couple ways I would judge, like, you know, especially the Christian bands, Christian albums didn't get much radio play, didn't really get any radio play up here unless it
yeah.
was
That's just
on
I don't
on
understand that, but oh well.
well, there was no Christian radio station unless it was
Yeah,
we were listening to our buddy's, program. But so they have to grab your attention right away. This one definitely does. This is, not a bad song to start. I don't think it's the best song on the record to start the record off, but it's not a bad song to do so. It's not like, "Oh, let's
no.
throw the worst on it." What do I have for this as far as my notes? Yeah, it's a good opener. As starts off with a good heavy riff. Um, so that's what I gotta say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're on to Frontline Life.
Frontline.
Hold tight, hold on, won't be long before the sun. But my life takes its toll. It's so cold. Inside, outside, is it just your foolish mind? But my life takes its toll. So cold. To hold and live to love, to keep us going under. One night.
Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the vocalist is in my range because I could sing with him in that part. I've did that for the last little while, singing with him. Like, so their singing is pretty good. You know, I think those Heartbreaker and the Frontline, those are the two favorite songs of the album.
Okay,
The
all right.
rest I could have a nap. You know.
Oh, so you've already already done spoiler alert. We usually talk about our favorite songs at the end of the program.
Oh, well, sorry, I was stepping ahead of you because recently we've picked bands that are just not at my standards here.
So does this one meet your standards or no? Or just the
Alright,
first two songs? So does this band meet your standards or not really?
not really.
Oh, okay.
That's a good song though. What do you think?
Oh, this song I like. This is, I think, better than Heartbreaker. It might even be a better opener. I like that scream that he does at the start of the song.
I
It's
don't understand why they had the yell at the beginning. In the middle, okay, but that was just my thing. I'm like, why at the beginning? Do it
oh,
in the middle.
you know what? Michael Sweet does it lots of times at the start of a song too.
I
So,
guess.
so I don't know. Maybe that's where he got it from. Maybe he was kind of uh, pulling inspiration from Michael Sweet. I don't know, but it,
But I
you know,
I like the verse she sings. We're out there in the front line for our God
right?
and for the King. And I like the way that they put it in there with the drums right at the proper time. I'm like, that was cool.
Yeah. And well, and the other thing throughout this record, they're doing a lot of, I think, cliched stuff. The riffs aren't, the riffs are kind of cliched, but this is what was going on at the time, and nothing gets cliched unless bands are doing them, right? So obviously, if they're good riffs, bands are going to do them. If it's a good style, bands are going to do it. And then after a number of bands do them, well, then you say, well, now it's cliched. But bands have to do them before they can get into that cliched status. So this is one of those bands that are kinda doing that stuff that will get into that status. But I like the solo. I thought the solo was good. This is one of the
Hmm.
songs where I think the game vocals worked well. We're doing good. They're not the game vocals don't work all the time on all the songs. I think they worked on this song though. All right. So we are the children. Children of the cross. No, children of the light. Children of our Lord. Sorry. All right, your thoughts on that one. We are children of our Lord. Like I
I
said.
I was confused. I'm confused about this song because I think there's musically, to me, there's so many things going on in the song, and it, to me, it says, well, what the heck, where do you want me to go? Is it the screaming guitar solo or the vocalist, or is it the bass that all of a sudden comes from quiet, all of a sudden? I'm like, what the heck are you doing? I don't like that. I didn't like it.
Well, that's a problem in the production in the mixing in. But it's funny. So my thoughts on this is kind of mixed. When you hear it at the start, you're going, "This has all the elements I should love. This is a super fast paced tempo, fast guitars, great beat." The problem is, I don't think his vocals work on this song. I think he was straining his voice. He was at the top of his range, trying to go all out, and I think he was kind of straining his voice. His voice doesn't really work on this song.
No.
But I did like the guitars. I think I like the solo. So musically, I thought it was not a bad song. But to me, this is reminiscent of if you look back at the Striper records, they always had that last song, which was almost double tempo than what anything on the record was doing. This is like that. This might almost work better at the end of the song, at the end of the record, type of thing. But to me, yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it had some good stuff to it, but also had some stuff that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
All right, on to
Probably the other best good song on here.
what is it? Well, on the rock.
We'll never lose it. We're on the rock. When it first began to be, let us fight and with a dream. So into and so here, living every we'll never lose it. We're marching on. We'll never lose it. We're on the rock. The steam had to change now.
All right, your thoughts on this one?
This one I like too because I could see me liking this song live.
Right.
I, you know,
Yeah, I thought this one was kind of average. It was okay. There is nothing wrong with the song. Again, it's got all the elements I would like in a good song. To me, it just doesn't seem to stand out, especially when you listen to the whole album. This one just kind of gets lost in the mix for me. All right, on to "Not Alone." Or "I Am Not Alone."
1,000 tears could wash your hands, buried under scarring all fears and stifled cries. If it would only rain, I need that rain. The answer is long as sang my song. Eagle edge to lead me out. And there is still in doubt, and doubt began hypocrisy. The palm, the pride. When every word's a lie, you cannot hide. And even if you tell the truth, ain't over you. Time to turn, time to run, time to get away from my true inflection. But it was always waiting there for me, waiting for me to see. All my love, so many was I to.
Not Alone. Your thoughts on that?
It's okay. I almost got the impression from a singing standpoint when he sings, and all of a sudden he's hitting the lower register, and it almost sounds like he's like, realized, oh, I could hit a couple notes here, and then he like in the middle of singing his lower register, he realizes, oh, I can go up two notes. So he does that, and it sounds not very good. Like it, or it could have been in the mixing.
Yeah. I don't
So
know. There are times I think he doesn't have the best voice,
no.
and he's trying to, he's not a Rob Halford. Like I said, stylistically, he's doing that hardest sound like an Iron Maiden, like a Judas Priest. They're not doing glam rock. Now, in glam rock, you have to have a great voice as well, but yet he's doing one of the harder styles where you still got to have a great voice. This isn't Megadeth. This isn't um, Motorhead, where you can have, a very rough voice and get away with it because you've got that style of music behind you. You still kind of have, if you listen to Judas Priest, yes, it's heavy, but it's polished heavy, and you need a voice like Rob Halford's who has good technique. His voice, I don't know, for some reason seems to be missing the mark a lot of times.
Yeah, it sounded like I don't know if they thought he could do it, and then in the process at the studio doing it, he realizes he can't. So they said, "Oh, that's okay." Well, I mean, he still has a nice voice, but I mean, that reminds me of the early days with Brian Elliott from Def Leppard, right? He was at his early register, and then they brought in someone new, and he could hit the high notes all of a sudden,
Yeah, that
right
would have
when
been
they.
Mutt Lange who produced Hysteria, and he kept pushing and kept pushing to get the best vocals. Um,
That's right. And
maybe they
it sounds like that's what they were doing with Neil, trying to get Neil Cross.
Actually, it sounds like they weren't doing that. That maybe they needed that kind of producer.
Yes, yes, they did, and nobody, and maybe they didn't want to have the high note. But I think for these, if we did it with someone like Brian Allett, oh, that would rock. I
Right.
mean, you know,
Um, the other thing on this, especially with Not Alone, like it says, so this is one of those songs that starts slow. It built. I know they do it twice. I almost wish they would drop that. I get the idea they're trying to do one of those songs that builds into the fast part. I don't know if it's done well. You know, and the other time that they do it, they seem to drag out that intro too long. It's like cut that intro down. The other thing I don't like on this is there's a section where it's just the vocals.
hmm
All the music drops out, and he carries on like 2 or 3 lines just vocal. He doesn't have a great voice for acapella.
and it's hard from a vocal standpoint when you have it, and they say, "Well, we want you to jump in on the fourth note during the drumming." Oh,
Right,
that is so hard to visually do, like, and to get yourself there because you need more than that.
right,
You need more substance, and you need to build yourself up to be ready. Like, I mean, perfect example, and we love talking about him on here, but Michael Sweet, he does that with Calling on You, a perfect example. He obviously he doesn't need that warm up to hit two or three notes, But this guy on the cross, he obviously needs the momentum from
Right.
from the band. He can't do it on his own, and I think they were hoping he could, but you know, it's like, I mean, me or you wouldn't be able to hit those notes.
No. But
Like it's
again, that whole solo vocal bridge, I think the song would have been better with that cut out.
hmm.
Anyways, okay, let's move on to Right Time.
Tell me the reason you've waited so long to do what's right. Don't wait for tomorrow. Though you think that your future is all in plain sight. When you live in a land of milk and honey, what you leave behind is your flashing money. This is the moment. This is the right time to give your life over. This is the right time to lift up your voice unto the sky, and He will never let you down.
Your thoughts on this one?
See, that is a perfect. Somebody must have got in there and said, "Okay, wait a minute. You know, this is what he can do. This is his strong point. Make it easy for him to do that." And that's what this song is about. He gets right. He doesn't need to jump into it right away, right? He can stay within his range. He's not panicking like, "Oh my god, I have to take two quick breaths here to get up to that zone." And the drums aren't so overpowering, right? They're momentum building for him.
Right. Yeah, this is the one that was probably better mixed. Uh, I think it starts off with good rhythm. It's simple rhythm, but I think it
Yeah.
suits the song. There are times where they come off with a great riff and then work into, standard rhythm. Here they kind
Mhm.
of forgo that. I think it works. Like you don't always have to be super heavy riff wise.
That's right.
Yet I don't want that to be absent all the time either. We don't. I like variety. I don't want it to be just a standard rhythm all the time. I want, some riffs. I want something to catch my eye. But if you have the odd song that doesn't, that's fine too.
But the thing I find with this album, with Neon Cross, they have way too many um like musical patterns that we just heard.
Well,
Like
I I think what it was, remember this was the 80's. I think these guys were
yeah,
setting the template of the musical patterns that, everybody hears, except for the fact that this came out in '87, so it was later in the '80's. So either they were following the pattern everybody has set, or they're setting the pattern themselves.
that's true. That's true.
But it's the same thing. Like if you listen to Saint, and I love Saint, yet they're following the same pattern that Judas Priest does, and they make no bones about that. They love Judas Priest. They want to sound like Judas Priest, and they do. And I got no problem with that. If you want a band, it, if you want a band that sounds like another band, you want a band that sounds like Judas Priest, go listen to Saint. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, whether you want to get out of Judas Priest because you're a Christian, you think you shouldn't listen to them, whether you just want another band that sounds like another one of your favorite bands, you know. And I think this is the same thing. These guys were just kind of, it's definitely 80's. It is definitely 80's traditional metal. This is not 80's hair metal, not 80's glam metal.
Who do you think, if somebody was out there asking, well, who do you think these guys sound like in the mainstream?
I don't know. There are elements of Judas Priest, yet I would not say they sound just like Priest. Um, there probably some band I don't listen to that these guys are copying. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. They they're definitely different. I'm
Well,
surprised I didn't find them, but
yeah, and all I can say is, like I said, back in the day, I did find them, and obviously, I thought there was something worthwhile, something
and the
about them made.
internet lied to me. They said they were Canadian.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. These guys, I don't think are Canadian. Well, you can't believe everything the internet says to you. Now,
I
remember that.
know. That's what I mean. I don't believe everything you see. I know.
All right, we're on to if I can find it here. Run into the light.
Again,
Living dreams of motion, profitable too. On the edge of a nightmare, timeless mystery and gold. Running through the back streets to the pipes tune. Late nights on Toronto, know how to pay the promise due. Something in the darkness, lost without a fight. Put away your guessing games, it could be tonight. Run into the light.
There you go. So, your thoughts on that?
that's a little better. That sounds like they finally figured out that if they could write songs that help him to sing and function, then everything else will come into place.
Right. There again,
You know,
and again, it starts off with kind of a typical rhythm, but it works. Like I said, you don't get the typical rhythms unless someone starts doing them in the first place.
yeah.
You know.
And they don't need to. I mean, maybe that's why they only have one album. Yeah. I mean, if anyone from Neon Cross is listening to us, we love you guys, but come on.
What's the matter? You don't like them?
They're okay. They're okay.
You sound like you
Well,
don't like
well,
them.
I know that you liked them, right?
Yeah, although, and especially with nowadays, with more and more music coming out, it's been a long time since I actually heard this record. It was when I decided what to do for a program, and I'm going down my catalog there, my library, going, well, who haven't we talked about yet? Hey, I haven't talked about these guys. And I go, well, I've got them in my library, so I must have liked them at one point, you know.
Yes, I know.
And just that I haven't heard them for a long time, mainly because for the longest time they only been on cassette. And how often do you pull out your cassettes and listen to them anymore? That's which is part of the reason I decided to digitize my cassette library so everything could be on my iPod.
That's funny you say that because I've been going through my musical library, and now that I have singing experience and musical knowledge, there is so many bands and sing like songs I've deleted that I'm like, why did I like them again? Like listening to them a third time
Right?
with knowledge, I'll be like, he can't even sing. This is production. They, you know, like it's like I can do it better.
Well, there are bands out there that yes, do not have a great vocalist that we still love. And if
Yes, exactly.
and
Maybe
if
we should do that for an episode.
there you go. That's not a bad idea actually. And I think on the secular scene, Motorhead, like people love Motorhead. Now, was Lemmy a great vocalist? No, by far he was not a great vocalist, but
No,
he had this
but
energy, this vibe that people loved.
that's right. He had a great backup to back him up, and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
the songwriting was always great with him. So
yeah. And I'm not knocking Motorhead. I love Motorhead too, but I'll be actually, it was funny because I saw a reaction video. Is this YouTube lady who is a vocal teacher? She did a reaction video to Motorhead, So she plays a few lines of Motorhead, and she goes, "Well, I don't know. This is Motorhead. I know he's a popular artist, a popular band, but
Oh my god. Stop.
nobody first wait, nobody has ever nominated Lemmy as best vocalist of the year, I don't think.
Yeah.
Was the band great? Yes. Again, it's due to the energy, the songs, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanna say too, as we run into the light, as we get into the solo, he does a few of these trademark flashiness, like he'll take the whammy bar on his guitar and do this dive bomb right before the solo starts. And the solo wasn't super flashy. It had the, just it was simple, but it's that ear candy that we as listeners love. And then right
Uh,
after that, they're the bridge after solo, everything's buddy's pounding on the same beat. You got the guitars, the drums, everybody boom, dun, 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 boom, and it's great. It works. It brings great emphasize to the beat.
yeah, I think that they did too much of that. They too much copying what they just did. And maybe they didn't know any better riffs or nobody told them, but to me, I got bored, like, "Oh, I've heard it before." It might be a different title, but, like and there were some songs like Heartbreak, was a great opening, right? And the song after that,
Yeah,
Frontline, was really good opening. Like, that got me entertained, but the rest of it was just yeah,
yeah. So you're saying essentially the sound is stale after a while.
yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we're on to Far Cry from Eden. All right. So your thoughts on Far Cry from Eden?
That's alright. That's not bad too bad, but again, they repeated their opening again. We heard it before, and I mean, the one cool thing, their songwriting is pretty good. Like, they didn't copy any words or anything
No,
in all the lyrics I read, so
no
just
patient
their
click here, eh?
yeah, you know, so I'll give them credit for that, and it flowed, um, but I mean, they convinced him on this song to scream at most of it, like, poor guy. Like, but
Oh man.
I guess I don't know, like, they didn't sell very many units, so
I don't know.
I
I,
mean,
I I think for that it was just due to the fact the low promotion. I mean, what sells records? It's usually promotion. You could be a great band, but if nobody knows you're out there, and this is I think where you and I are going to differ and disagree. To me, I thought this was a great song. I loved this song. If I put this on, especially on a cassette where it's hard to fast forward through, I can't wait to get to this song. I love the opening riff. I think this is the first time they had a great riff to start the song, probably the best riff on the record.
that was probably the greatest thing.
And again, it's fast tempo, but what I did like was the change in the vocals, going from the verse to the chorus. The verse was more, low down, more in his normal range, and then he has to belt it out when he gets the chorus, and if he stays there for the entire song in the high end, yes, it doesn't work. We already talked about that on, I think, the 3rd song or whatever that was,
Yeah.
but
Front line.
here, going kicking up that notch for the chorus, I think it works. I think it emphasizes the chorus. It brings it. I like it when he goes high like that. The problem is he can't stay there the whole time, and so he doesn't on this song. I think it's great, and yeah, I think I like everything about this song.
No, 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 no. It's not. No, no, no. It's not bad. I mean, it's just. I think it could have done better. That's all.
Right now, we're
So
into
people should try to find the album. They should
check it out on
think
YouTube
about buying it.
if you can find it. You
Yeah.
might be able to find. Apparently, there is a CD version out somewhere. It's the remastered. Will come with 2 bonus songs on there, like we said at the start. The 2 songs that were on that California Metal album will appear on the reissue of this. We don't have those 2 songs, but, we've got 2 more to go. We've got "Out of the Way."
Coming out like a cardiac, I'm a heart attack, and I ain't coming back. Mama mentioned the seek and destroy, anything in my way, I'm calling it void. Gonna tear your flesh, gonna take your heart, gonna take your soul. Oh, your old man is gonna die. We are running faster, we are here to stay. I'm older than time.
Alright, your thoughts on this one?
Not bad. Not bad. But again, the same old opening. We have the only difference was they had their keyboard and their bass player jump in and sing,
Well,
and that
there's no keyboard on this band.
you don't think there's keyboards?
No.
Okay, so they had their bass player and their lead guitar come in and sing with him, and it sounded pretty good for a while, but you could just tell that they were trying to help him, like a little, come on,
Right.
get, and he did it. But he couldn't sustain it and then I think he was happy to get back to the chorus. He could just jump, back to, all right.
Yeah, and here's the thing, I listened to this album quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, like, every other day, and, the trouble is, I'm usually doing other stuff when I'm listening, so it's kinda in the background, I'm listening and kinda going, "What's my thoughts?" The last couple of times I listened to it, I tried to pick out, "Okay, what do I like about the songs? What do I not like about the sound?" There were moments, though, that there were things I missed, so even just listening to this last little clip, I noticed there were times where his vocals kinda dropped and he wasn't hitting the notes. This song, and he said this was same as every other song. Well, it wasn't. He tried to do that slow intro and build it into the song again, and it just dragged. It was like in the clip, I cut probably half that intro off just to get
Yeah.
into the song. The intro was
Eh,
was too long. It was too slow. I did like it. Song was better when it got going and got heavy again. The gain vocals, and you're right. When everybody's singing on this with the gain vocals, it better. And I think you're right. I think the gain vocals had to help the main vocalist.
It's too bad they couldn't find a vocalist like Sebastian Bach, because that would have been really cool, you
Yeah,
know, for Christian music, or White Cross's vocalist now.
that
He would have
yeah.
kicked those notes right out of the park.
It's just that if you're looking for Sebastian Bach, you gotta find someone without his attitude.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it takes a special kind of person to be able to go up there and to stay there
Right.
and know
Uh,
how to come back down.
the only thing I have to say about this song on a positive note was the guitar solo was great. I love the guitar solo in this.
Yeah, I did too. I liked it too.
It was probably the best part of the song, maybe the only good part of the song.
Again, I thought the drums were just too, they were like too inventing. I mean, when we talked to Joel, or
It
he had a guy program the drums,
right,
and they weren't so intrusive. That's how I felt listening to that song. Those drums just seemed like they were all involved, right?
right.
This is the only thing you should listen to, and that annoyed me. That just no.
Well, here's the thing, and I don't know if it was a time constraint because 'cause they've got Dino Elefante
That's
in the
true.
doing but he's only doing the mixing. So does that mean he wasn't there for the recording and the production? And maybe he was busy with some other project, but he was able to come in after it was done and mix the record? Because 'Cause I'd like to hear what would have happened if he was involved in the production. Most
Yeah,
of most of Elefante's productions sound great. And this doesn't sound great, but remember, he's not involved in the production. He's only doing the mixing. So after it's all said and done, he comes in and says, "Well, okay, here's where the levels go. You know, bring the vocals to this level, bring the guitars to this level, bring this to here," and that's his job. But the
I think
recording of it's
I
always already done.
yeah. I don't think he. I think when he came in, he did the final mix.
Yeah, no,
I don't.
that
I don't.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Is what would this have sounded like had he been there at the start and
that's right.
done the whole
It-
production? I think it might have
That's
been a
right.
much better record.
Oh, totally.
All right.
Because
So
we
now
know that. Is there one more?
one more, yeah. Victory.
Wow,
Did you listen to Victory?
I'm missing two songs. That's weird.
Oh, no,
Okay,
Victory. And normally, like say, we play this and then we talk about it. I'm gonna save the clip to the end. I think I'm gonna go out
we're
with
going out with it. Okay.
Victory. Yeah, it's the last song on the record. It's not bad. It's again, it's a super fast paced song. You're gonna say the same thing. It sounds like every other song.
It better not be the same drums that I.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
I had some great vocal. If you listen to this, he does some really good screams at the end of the song, and he's just going super high, but he's hitting the notes. It sounds good. I kind of like this just because of the message behind the song. And before we get to the clip here, we'll get into my favorite songs from this. You already said I think your two favorite were the first two tracks. After that, you kind of got bored.
What's that?
So you said your two favorite tracks on this album were the first two songs,
Yeah, the first two songs,
and then you said after that you just got bored.
and the rest were average.
What would you say were the worst songs on this record?
Say that again.
What would you say are the worst songs on the record?
Oh, the worst song. Oh,
The two.
Run into the lights, right time.
Okay, you only
That
need two.
yeah, that would be mine. Yeah.
Those are your two. Okay. My two best, um, I would say Frontline Life and Far Cry from Eden. I love Far Cry. To me, that is the best song on the record. Maybe they should have started with that. But then if you start with Far Cry from Eden, it just goes downhill after that. I do like Victory. That's kind of a honorable mention or close third. I do like Victory, and we'll play that at the end. My least favorite, I would say, is On the Rock and I'm Not Alone. Those ones just,
I'm not alone.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that
just
I just didn't. No, no.
definitely the worst. And out of 10, what would you rate this?
The album
Yeah,
4.
4. Okay. Wow. You were definitely not impressed at all.
I'm being generous here.
Oh, wow. Well, this is one where we disagree. I would rate this a 7. And what I kinda did was I went through and mentally going, "Okay, this song I give a 7, this song a 6, this one an 8, blah, blah." Added them all up, and I came up with, I think a total
Well,
of
if we ever get these guys on the show, I'll have a sick day.
oh, great, you can have me do the whole thing. Well, I could do the whole thing myself. I if I had to, I could. Alright, well, I guess that's it for Neon Cross. Now we know your thoughts on them.
Yeah,
Um, let us know your thoughts on Neon Cross if you're listening to this. And if you're still here at the end of the program, we thank you for joining us all the way to the end. Again, we encourage you, give feedback. Let us know your thoughts. Have you heard this band before? Did you like them? Do you like them? And yeah, what are your favorite songs from this record? And get other people listening to the Rock and Metal Faith podcast. Tell others about this
yeah.
and let others know you're listening. We are going to go out on well, I think it's a high note. We're going to go out with Victory by Neon Cross. All right. God bless and keep on rocking.